Hello and welcome back. So another security measure which we can and we should take in our web API application is to sanitize any incoming data with the request. So there are some requests like post and patch requests where we also receive some data from the client in the request body. Then a client can also send data through URLs using route parameters or query strings. Now, if a user has malicious intent, he can also send some dangerous data with the request, which can harm the application. And that's why before using the data received with the request, we might want to sanitize it. And that is called as data sanitization. Data sanitization means cleaning or transforming incoming data so it cannot be interpreted in a harmful way by our database, our server, or the browser. And data sanitization usually includes normalizing types, for example, converting the email type to string, then removing dangerous operators or characters. For example, in MongoDB, when we use an operator, we use dollar symbol. So when we use dollar symbol in the request data, the text used with that dollar symbol can be a MongoDB operator, which is used to harm our database. So by removing the dollar symbol from the data, we can avoid any NoSQL injection. Then we can also use data sanitization for stripping harmful HTML and JavaScript. And we can also allow listing. We can only allow expected keys and formats in the data. So data sanitization is a defense in depth alongside validation, authentication and authorization, and safe output encoding. Now, when we use data sanitization, we can avoid two types of attacks. We can avoid NoSQL query injection attack and cross-site scripting attack. So let's try to understand how these type of attacks can be done with the request data. So let's go to Postman. And here what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to make a post request to the login route in order to authenticate the user. Now let's say I am an attacker who wants to gain access to the application without providing a proper email and password. So as a hacker, what I can do is, for the email, I can write a MongoDB query, a NoSQL query, which will allow me access to the application without providing a proper email and password. So for example, here I can use a query like this. Okay, so here I am saying that the email, and to this email I am not assigning a proper email address. Instead, I am assigning a MongoDB query where I am setting $GT operator and I am assigning it with empty string. So here I am saying that find that user with the email where the email of the user is greater than empty string. And here this condition will be satisfied by all the users, because for all the users we have stored an email address, right? In the same way, if I go ahead and if I use the same value here, so here in the request we are sending email and password, and we are telling find that user whose email is greater than empty string and the password is also greater than empty string. Okay, now here if I save the changes and if I make the request, we will get an error in this case, and it says that illegal argument, it cannot assign object to string. And this error is coming. So if I go to auth controller and there, if I expand this login request, that error is coming from this line where we are passing the password. So this password is the password which we are sending in the request body, and it is storing an object. As you can see, for the password here, we are passing an object, right? So since we are trying to assign an object to a string value, that's why we have this error. But what I'm going to do is, let's say in my application, I'm not comparing the password. Let's say I'm saving the plain password in the database. So in that case, I will not need this check. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll comment these two lines. Okay. And what I'll also do is, here we are trying to find a user. At this line, we are trying to find a user with a given email. After that, if the user is found, let's say I also want to log the user. So I'm going to log this user object. Now remember that in the request body for this email field, I have specified the value as this NoSQL query. So that means I'm telling that find that user with the email whose email is greater than empty string. So at this line, this find one method will try to find a user with the email which is greater than empty string. And in this case, it is going to return us the first user object from the users collection, the first user document from the users collection. And after that, we are not doing any check. We are not comparing the password. I have commented that code. So in that case, if the user is found, and the user will be found because for all the users, we are storing an email address which is not empty string. So in that case, the user will be authenticated immediately. If I go back and if I send the request, you will see that in the response, I have received this JSON web token. That means the user with this email, and this is not a proper email, with this email, the user is authenticated. And in the terminal also, I can show you that we have received a user object. So this user is the first user in our users collection. And this user is basically John Smith with this email johnsmith@gmail.com. So this user has been returned by this find one method. So in this way, an attacker can inject some SQL query in the request body in order to gain access to the application. And this type of attack can also be used to delete data from the database or from a collection. Or this type of attack, this NoSQL query injection attack, it can also be used to read the sensitive information about the user. So this type of attack is very dangerous, and we need to avoid this type of attack by first sanitizing the data which we are receiving in the request body or in the request parameter. So this is one type of attack which can happen and which needs data sanitization. Let's see how we can do data sanitization for this type of attack. And for that, we are going to use a middleware. So let's go to VS Code. And here we are going to install a package called @exotex/Express Mongo Sanitize. Now here we can also use Express Mongo Sanitize, but Express Mongo Sanitize package is compatible with Express version 4. In Express version 5, we cannot use it because in Express version 5, the query string is non-immutable. But in Express 4, query strings can be mutated, it can be updated, and that's what Express Mongo Sanitize does. So if we use Express Mongo Sanitize package in Express 5, we will get an error because it will try to mutate the query string, but in Express 5, that is not allowed. So that's why here, instead of using Express Mongo Sanitize, we are going to use a similar package, which is @exotex/Express Mongo Sanitize. So here, let me write npm install command, and here we want to install @exotex/Express-Mongo-Sanitize. Okay, let's press enter and let's wait for this package to be installed. Once this package is installed, let's go ahead and let's require it. So at the top, in the app.js file actually, at the top, we are going to create a variable. I'll simply call it as sanitize. And here I'm going to require the @exotex/Express Mongo Sanitize. And this is going to return us a function. And when we will call that function, it will return us a middleware which will be used for sanitizing the data. Now we will do data sanitization after the request body is attached to the request. So for that, we have this express.json package which is going to read the request body from the request, and it is going to attach it to the body property of the request object. So after it has been done, after that we are going to use app.use, and now I'm going to use the sanitize function and I'm going to call it. And as I mentioned, this is going to return us a middleware which will sanitize the data in the request body. So if there is any NoSQL query in the request body, it is going to sanitize it. So let me save the changes now. Let's go back to Postman and let's try it one more time. And this time you see we have an error and it says cast to string failed for, this. So that means that sanitizer is working, and you will also notice that what it has done is it has removed the dollar symbol from the GT. That means from this GT MongoDB operator. So when we use a MongoDB operator, before that we will have a dollar sign, but that dollar sign has been removed by the Express Mongo Sanitize middleware. So what this middleware, basically this middleware here, what it does is it removes any dollar or dot symbol from the request body. And in MongoDB, whenever we want to use a MongoDB operator, we use either dollar symbol or we use dot in some way. So it will remove the dollar and the dot from the request body. And in this way, we can avoid any NoSQL query injection attack in our Express app. In the same way, another type of attack which a user can make is the cross-site scripting attack. So here, first of all, I'll go back to auth controller, and from there, I'm going to remove this console.log statement. Okay, and I'm also going to uncomment this code. So just wanted to show you how a NoSQL query injection happens and how it can affect your application. Okay, now let's see how the cross-site scripting attack happens. Here also, I'll get back the original email ID and password. Let me save the changes. And now let's go to sign up request. And there, let's say I want to create a user, but instead of specifying a proper name and last name, what I'm going to do is here I'm going to specify some HTML. Okay, here I'll simply say test. And with this HTML, we can also go ahead and we can attach some JavaScript which will be executed when this HTML will be rendered in the website. Right, so here I can attach some JavaScript with this HTML, and whenever this value will be read by the browser, since it is an HTML, it will be executed by the browser. And if there is any JavaScript attached to this HTML, that will be executed. And in this way, an attacker can inject a malicious script in our database which can be executed when this value will be rendered by the browser. And that JavaScript might have some code to read the personal information of the user, or it can be used in any other way to gain access to the user's machine. So to avoid this type of attack, we are going to install another package, and the package name is XSS clean. So here again, I'll say npm install, and I want to install XSS-clean package. And this package is used to sanitize any HTML or JavaScript which the request body contains. So let's install this package. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's require it and let's use it. So again, in the app.js file, I'm going to copy this line. I'll paste it below, and here I'm going to call the variable as XSS. You can provide any meaningful name here. And here I want to require XSS-clean package. Okay, or actually, let me type it. So here I want to require XSS-clean. For some reason, the IntelliSense is not working. So let me go ahead and let me quickly check in the package.json file. I have that XSS clean package or not. So it is there. So that package I'm using here. Okay. I don't know if this package has been installed properly or not. Okay, it says package no longer supported. So what I'll do is I'll install another package which is Express XSS Sanitizer. So let's say npm install Express XSS Sanitize. So this is the package name, and this package is supported in both Express version 4 and Express version 5. And actually it is Express XSS Sanitizer. Let's install this package. Okay. So here, let's see if we have any message like that. It looks fine. Here, let's go ahead and let's use Express XSS Sanitizer. Right. Express XSS Sanitizer. And let's save the changes. And now, after we have added this sanitize, so basically here also we want to sanitize the request body and the request parameter. So once the body is attached to the request object of the express, after that we are going to use app.use, and here we are going to call xss. So the variable name is xss, and this variable will be assigned with a function which this package is going to return. And when we call that function, it is going to return us a middleware which will be used for sanitizing any script included in the request body or in the request parameter. Let me save the changes here and let's go back to Postman. And if I send the request, let's see what we get. So here we have an error and it says XSS is not a function. That's because this Express XSS sanitizer, it is going to return us an object, and in that object we have a property called XSS, and now this XSS is going to store a function. So we need to use destructuring syntax here to get it. Let me save the changes now. Let's check the terminal. So now the error is gone and the DB connection is successful. Let me send the request now. And now you see here we are getting this error which says user validation failed. First name can only contain letters, and this error is coming from our user model where we have specified that the first name can only contain letters. So what I will do is, for now, I'll go to our user model just to demonstrate this. I'll go to user model, and from there I'll just comment this validation. Let me save the changes. So no errors. Let's go to Postman. Let me send this request again. And here it says a user with the same name already exists. Let's say test1. Maybe that user was created somehow. If I send the request again, and we are still getting this message, a user with, okay, here we have an email. That's why we are getting this error. So let's say email is manojja1@gmail.com. And now you will see that a user has been created and the first name of the user is this value, and it has been saved as an HTML, but it should not have done that. And also here I want H1. Let me try it one more time. And here it should be a closing H1. Okay. Let's change the email. Let me send the request. Okay. So these users are getting created for some reason. And this is actually expected behavior because in this code we do not have any JavaScript code attached. So let me do one thing. Before this h2 element, I'll also add a script tag. Okay, and let me also close this script like this. And after that I have this h1 element and I'm closing it, and in this script let me write an alert statement, and here let's simply say XSS attack. Let me try this. So I'll also have to change this email because email should be unique. Let me try this and see if this is truncated or not. And now we have this error. So now you see when we have a script tag in the first name value, the complete value has been removed by the XSS sanitizer middleware, and that's why we have this error. Okay, so when we have some JavaScript in the request body, that will be sanitized by this package, this Express XSS sanitizer. And in this way, now we are sanitizing the data. And in this way, we are avoiding the NoSQL injection attack as well as we are avoiding XSS attack. And for that, we have used two packages, this Express Mongo Sanitize, and for avoiding XSS attack, we are using Express XSS Sanitizer. Okay, and now let me go to user model, and from there, let me uncomment this validation. All right, so with this, I hope now you understand what do we mean by data sanitization and how can we do data sanitization in an Express app. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.